Welcome back, everyone. Join us as we sit down with Rachel Scott, a destination photographer with roots in both Colorado and Atlanta, Georgia, to hear her first impressions of editing with Polarr Next. From wild elopements to timeless love stories, Rachel shares how AI editing supports her creative vision and storytelling from behind the lens. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more creative journeys with photographers around the world. Welcome back, everyone, to another video interview. Today, I've got Rachel Scott with me all the way in Atlanta, Georgia, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, split your time in Colorado. But Rachel, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Rachel, and I am a wedding and elopement photographer. I've been doing this full time for almost 8 years, and I have been so lucky to be able to travel all over the world, helping couples tell their love stories, and just really enjoy taking pictures of scenery with the couples. And I don't know.
No, that's good. You go on and on, but I keyed in on the telling love stories. So Your business, you are a husband, wife duo?
No, it's just me.
Oh, okay. Just you. And do you do only photography, anything with videography?
Yeah, so I just do photography. I have some videographers that I work with really closely, but for me, it's just been a love of photos and photography since I was young, really.
Yeah. So kind of like high school, that kind of young or even younger?
Yeah, I started doing photography when I was in high school. I started with film photography, and I really enjoyed it kind of felt like Christmas every time I would develop one image in the darkroom. And I don't know, something about just like I said, kind of with the love stories, just being able to tell a story through a photo was something that always really caught my eye. Because obviously a beautiful photo is great, but then being able to convey a story through it is even better. So that's kind of my objective always when I'm going into taking photos, and just my approach on wedding days and elopement days.
Okay. So kind of going back to that younger Rachel, did you ever think photography would be a career for you? Did you just kind of fall into it as a career?
Yeah, I probably didn't. I think for a long time it was kind of looked down on, maybe, to be a photographer, just oh, you can't really make a career out of that unless you're a National Geographic photographer, which is so sought after and hard to get. So it's obviously not something that I always thought was possible. And then actually my dad really encouraged me to go to school and pursue it because he saw how passionate I was about it, and just all of my I don't know, just everything all my projects that I was doing and everything that I was involved with. And so he encouraged me to move forward with it. And so I did. And unfortunately, he never got to see that come to fruition because he passed away before I actually started my business. But I did take it all the way and have been doing it for 8 years full time now. So it's been really special.
Wow. Thanks for sharing with us that moment as well. And I can only imagine your father having already imagined and seeing you in his mind, being that photographer. So it's really cool that you can continue with that and honor him with that. Your website, when I'm looking at your photos, and I went through Instagram, of course, this word timeless you've got going on. What does that mean to you when it comes to a style? What is timeless?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, I started out so many years ago. And so I was really into a totally different editing style than I am now. And I've tried out a bunch of different avenues of what I like, what I don't like, sticked with the style for a while and then changed. And obviously there's so many trends of certain things and photographic styles, how photographers take pictures, things like that. And so for me, it was really, I don't know. I just over time wanted to make sure that my photos were going to stand the test of time for couples, that they were always going to look back 50, 60 years after their wedding day when they're showing their grandkids their pictures, and that they love them and that they're not like, oh, like I wish that we didn't do this because it was like trendy at the time. Some people probably won't ever have that feeling. They'll be happy that they did what they did. And, I hope that for everybody. But for me, like, I want it to be true to life and timeless. And like I said, yeah, just stand the test of time for couples.
What's something people don't realize about the editing process, like behind the scenes?
It's extremely meticulous, I think. At least for me. I feel like obviously every photographer is different, but for me, like, especially with digital photography, there's just so many like little nuances nowadays that I take, into consideration when I'm editing galleries, because I, again, want them to stand the test of time and I want them to be high quality for every single couple that hires me, and that they're happy with their end product. And so I feel like with editing, it's a lot of time of making sure that like the gallery is consistent, but then also like the little details of like chromatic aberration or like, things like that are that you wouldn't like normally see, but that I see, or even just like cropping a photo or, editing, and now editing things out of a photo, things like that. It's just like, I think there's so many like aspects of editing that you don't necessarily think about when you're hiring a photographer. You're like, oh, they're taking a picture and then, I'm going to get it back with a filter on it. And it's not that at all. That's just like one small part of it, because yeah, I could like lay the presets that I have created over it, but then I'm going to go back because every day is different. Every light situation is different. And I'm going to make it its own thing for that specific wedding or session or elopement.
That's good. And maybe before we move on to the next section of this, if you had a magic wand that could fix one thing about the editing process, what would it be? Or fix or improve?
Honestly, probably just time. I feel like it's really time consuming. And that's probably the other thing that people don't understand about editing, is how much time it takes. And like for me, that is a huge thing, because I am like a mother and I have children, and I'm also balancing, this business that I have. And so especially when it becomes busy season and I have 15 weddings in my backlog and I've got baseball season and, going out on the lake or just taking a day off with my family, it's like it all adds up. And so I feel like time is probably the biggest like magic wand thing of just being able to be like, okay, like I can get this done quickly and efficiently. I feel like that's probably the biggest thing.
Perfect. Good answer. That's a perfect segue into our next section, because a lot of people see AI as that next magic wand for us, and there's a lot of applications for it. And in our instance with photography editing, what is your experience with it? Were you open to it at first, or did you jump right into it? And are there any programs that you're currently using that utilizes AI?
Yeah, I honestly was not very open to it at first, because I was kind of like, there's no way that it's going to edit the way that I edit or see things the way that I see. And in some cases, like, yes, because I have used other softwares, I think that can still be true, because obviously there are just like little things that I think you can become picky about, especially when using an AI software. But I do currently use Imogen, not sure what
Yeah,
still,
I tripped you up on last
still
time.
out on how to pronounce that. I do use that for culling and editing currently, and it has saved me a ton of time. But I still do have to go through and make sure that the culling is, what I want it to be. And then again, like the edits are what I want them to be. For the most part, I feel like it has saved me a lot of time. And so I'm happy about that, but I definitely think there are things that can be worked through and worked out. And I'm excited to, see more of what AI can do.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So when you first opened up Polarr Next, what was like your gut reaction? What happened?
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was so cool that it's that you can use it like on the web page and it's not just like an app that you have to download, because then I feel like you can kind of access it wherever you are. Like even if I didn't have my laptop, I could like go on somebody else's laptop or computer and access it. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
really cool. And also just really like the layout. I feel like it's super like self-explanatory,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I'm really excited to actually like try it out.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Then let's go ahead and jump into it then, shall we? I know I got a lot more questions to go through, but I
Yeah.
definitely would love to see you getting in there. So let's switch it up. And now we're looking at your computer. So, it's doing two things. It's grouping your photos, as you can see, like this one. It's got like three photos in the same scene. And then
Okay.
it's also analyzing your photos. So that top right analyzing score,
Yeah.
it does a baseline of looking for faces. So obviously it may be a poor score because it didn't see any faces versus this one. We got,
Mhm.
they're looking towards the
Wow.
camera. It's focused
Hmm.
nicely. Lighting's great, whatever, but that's just kind of baseline stuff. So,
Okay.
um, what you can do in this section is click on the top film strip, and then if you want, as we're
This
talking,
one?
right above it in the group, yeah, right
Yes.
there, yeah,
Okay.
click in there, and then once you clicked into there, then you can use the left and right arrow keys to go between groups. And
Okay.
then as you're going through, like as we're chatting, go ahead
Mhm.
and like rate them.
Okay.
So I know that might be a little bit different than what you're doing with Imagine and how they call. Do they assign ratings for you?
Yeah, right
Okay.
now I think they do. They do like a green for the good ones and then a blue for the like in like there's not one like that. So it's like kind of like the
Okay.
highlights, but a lot of times it's like a photo that's like totally out of focus.
Okay.
So that's definitely something that I'm like, okay, why even have these? Because like it's pretty much a majority, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's not really
Okay.
like a highlight. Like I feel like a highlight would be like what I would send for like a sneak peek, right?
Okay. And
So
and before you really start going off, let's talk about that highlight and sneak peek action as
yeah,
well, because
yeah,
we do have this thing. It's a little different. It's called keeper, and so we
right.
signify them with the green thumbs up, and
Okay.
those are the ones that the AI just feels are your strongest. And again, it's based on the face lighting and focus. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like this one here, you got the keeper thumbs up on it. So if you actually click on that keeper's filter on the bottom where it says keepers 40,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm.
click that, now it's only showing you the 40 of your strongest
Okay.
images.
Oh
So
wow.
what's cool is like when you bring home like a 6,000 image wedding and
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for those sneak peeks, on the left side, you'll see the suggest keepers. You can actually click onto the number on the left side, go up
Up, up.
right there on the slider. If you click on that number, you
This
can
one.
type in any number you want. So if you have like 6,000 photos, you can do,
Mm.
1,000. If you have 150 photos like we have, you can do 5, 10. And you can just, yeah, click and see what it feels are your strongest.
Let's do.
And yeah. So if you want, you can even unclick it and then it will, at the bottom, sorry,
Okay.
unclick it and then it will show you all your photos. And if you click it, it'll
Okay.
just turn it. So,
Okay.
yeah, play with that and then go through and kind of cull. So, like,
Okay.
what do you like look for in images that are your strongest so that you want to send as sneak peeks?
Yeah. So I feel like for my sneak peeks, I definitely like to look for kind of a variety of photos. Just because I want to give them parts of each of the day or parts of each of the day.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
just like making sure that when they get the sneak peek, they aren't really left hanging, because I do have
Mhm.
kind of a longer turnaround time. And so I want to make sure that they get a good amount of photos that they're happy with for a while. Um, so this is super cool.
That's so
Um,
nice.
yeah.
You're on the side of a mountain. That's crazy.
I know. This was actually in Italy in the Dolomites.
What?
Yeah, this was so fun. And we hiked to several of these locations, but actually I'm excited to see what they chose later on. But yeah, this was cool. They did their vows here, which was super pretty.
Mm.
Um, oh my
With the
gosh.
mist and everything.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
The weather was so crazy that day. Oh man. Yeah, see, so I definitely like that it like chose this one over these other two because obviously like the composition's not the best on the other two, but sometimes like I do like to send tilted photos and stuff. So that's
Sure.
obviously kind of a more niche thing. So I definitely feel like I would have to do that anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
Um, but I like that it's what it's choosing. This was our view from our hotel that we
Wow.
stayed at. Yeah, it was so pretty. So is this one selected? This is a
Yeah. So
keeper.
you can see,
Okay.
does have the thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, these are all really good so far. This was a cable car that we had to take up.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally went up the
Dang.
side of the mountain. It was insane. It was so scary, but it was cool. And her tennis shoes cracking
Nice.
up. Yeah.
One thing too that I've noticed is it's also selecting images that aren't people. So it's kind of giving you a
Yes.
sense of place as well that
Yes,
I'm
which
sure
is
you
really
would love to
important.
give. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really important. I mean, that's why I kind of like to take pictures like that because, like I said, I want it to be the whole story. And like, especially when we're in a place like this or really anywhere, I include images like that so that they remember what we saw, um, what we did, things like that. And so that is really cool that it's including not just people, but the locations too, because obviously those are there for a reason. I'm not
Yeah.
just testing out the lighting.
And speaking of lighting, real quick, if you can go back to that hotel view real
Yeah.
fast,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like when you're culling, it can be hard to kind of like judge the image or see if like
Mm-hmm.
that's really going to be good. So we built in a little feature. It's that sun at the top. If you click and hold it,
Okay.
or you can press and hold the E key, but it's
Oh,
going to apply auto lighting and white balance automatically,
oh my gosh.
just temporarily. So
Yeah,
you can
that's
kind of
super
see
cool.
better.
Yeah, so you can see what it is because it was like the lighting was so bright on this morning, so I had to like
Yeah.
put it down so that I can eventually put the exposure back up. But that's a cool feature. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun to play with like on, portraits and stuff too
Mhm.
and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, this one may not. So how do I?
So the cool thing is that they're only given that green thumbs up temporarily, but you
Oh,
haven't selected anything. Nothing's been
okay.
rated.
Sorry.
Nothing's no. It's all good. This is a
Okay, so
good
do I do so all of these that all of them so far I've loved. So would I do like a 5?
yeah, you could do 5 for 5 stars. So basically 1 through 5
Okay.
are the stars, and then 6 through 0 are the color filters.
Okay. So basically I would just go
There you go.
through and do this. Okay, so these are not ones that I want.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
would I do like an X?
Well, they're not selected because when you go to
Okay,
edit
okay,
photos,
okay.
then
That
you
makes
select
okay,
your 5 stars or whatnot.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Like,
it's all
this is
good.
so
It's
cool.
it's just basically whittling everything down. So,
Right.
um,
Because I'm so
yeah,
used to like all like on Imagine when they I can't
yeah.
say that. When they all pop up, they're like the ones that I don't want, you know,
Okay,
the ones that they
gotcha.
don't select. So this is definitely interesting because it shows like groupings together of ones that I potentially would want. And okay,
Oh, those are so good. Those are so lovely.
you,
Wow.
yeah, oh, love. I haven't looked
Did
at
you
these in a
swim
while.
in there too?
I don't know if you can actually, but they have
Wow.
like a whole boathouse and like this thing, and you can see like there are people like you just rent these boats and take them out. So you can actually go to this lake in the morning and you can rent out the whole boathouse and have the whole lake to yourself. And
Wow.
a lot of people do that for weddings, but we did this in the afternoon and they didn't really care so much
Yeah.
about that aspect of it. So we just were hanging out and
Mhm.
with all these other people, but
I think,
yeah.
man, like back in the days with film photography, like to get those clean backgrounds, that would have been more important. But
Right.
nowadays, like when I do shoots on the beach during sunset, it's just so many
Mhm.
people. And I'm like, oh, it's all good. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, AI is kind of like giving you that confidence to be able to, I can handle this, like it's no
Absolutely.
biggie.
I feel like it's taken, like AI has really taken the stress off of like what to choose, and
Hmm.
having it do that for you makes you, like you said, like definitely more confident in being able to say, okay, this is like a good album that I'm proud of, because you're not like spending hours rethinking
Hmm.
everything. Like time, like I said earlier, is like hours rethinking, like, are these the ones that I want to choose? Do I like this
Yeah.
filter? Like, it kind of just does it for you. And then like I feel like that stress of everything is just taken off. And that's something I really love about it, because I feel like I appreciate my work more.
Yeah. Okay, so you've gone through and selected. I see there's about 33 images. Let's use this example today as like as if you're doing highlights or like sending sneak peeks.
Okay.
33 is a good amount, I'd say. So you've gone through, culled, and now we're ready to edit. So what would you do next?
Okay. So basically, what I hit like edit photos.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, so I'd want to do all of the 5-star
Hmm.
photos. Wow, that's cool. So like if I wanted to, if I went through like a whole gallery, let's just say, if I went through all 150 photos and I wanted to do like the green for like all of my favorites and then the blue for the highlights, then I could just like click both of those. Would that be
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's cool. I
Yep.
like that.
Okay. So for this example, we'll do create a new style.
Okay.
Just because you're jumping in for the first time, I know you maybe got some presets you want to bring in. So create new style, and then let's do advanced, because advanced has you edit multiple references, whereas express is just one.
I have like a grouping that I will kind of like use, that I know
Hmm.
like which ones for kind of what situations. And then my base one for like outside, sometimes I'll just like, I place it and then I'll have to kind of um, adjust it. And then what I'll do is like I'll copy and paste them
Okay.
onto other photos to make that kind of easy
Hmm.
ish.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So before we start moving sliders and stuff, do you want to bring in those presets now?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay. So bring us through these. What you got? This is your little group.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, this one I would say is like kind of like a good base. And I feel like it is like, I kind of toggle between like the green in this, just because sometimes I like the tones of the green better
Hmm.
with the 4. But I feel like right now I'm liking just like the regular base, because again, it's like most true to life, still a
Okay.
little bit earthy there. So that's kind of where I would probably lean for this. But then I also have like, I like that I can just highlight over them and they'll just change as I
Hmm.
go. That's pretty cool. Okay, this is cool. So this is just like all of the
Hmm.
colors here. So I like this tool.
Yeah, that one's nice.
This is so nice, especially for like when I feel like I find a lot of times like during weddings, especially like the dress for presets or even the suit, the button up shirt can come
Yeah.
out blue.
Hmm.
And so I have recently been like doing the select color to like bring the saturation down on it so that it's not blue.
Yeah. One thing too, I tend to do that. Sometimes when I do the point color in Polarr Next, it could pull from like the sky or rocks or whatever. So I'll just make a subject mask, and then in that
Yeah.
subject mask, we also have the ability to do point color in there
Okay.
as well.
Okay, that's cool. So this
Yeah, there, you could do create new mask and then subject.
just
There
might
we
as well
go.
do that. That's a good point.
Okay. So right now it's hanging up. This is a good opportunity to show this off. So
Okay.
right now it's hanging up. All you have to do is Control R or just refresh the web page. Oh, did that work? maybe on Mac it didn't work. Go out of full screen mode and then just refresh the tab. There you go. And then jump right back into the project. And it'll pick up right where you left off. Wait, what the heck? Where'd that photo go?
I don't know.
Wait, didn't it have 8 images?
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, but it shows a different image.
It did. I've never seen that before. They like gave you like completely different 8 images. That's funny. Well, the cool thing is you can unselect that filter at the bottom if you wanted to go and edit that one as
I don't want to edit this one.
Okay. Yeah, you can totally do that.
So I can't like make this selection.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, because once you're done editing it and you mark it, it'll still show on your progress. It'll fill up one of those bars with green. So
okay.
Yeah. That's crazy though. That's funny. I don't think I've ever seen that. Where like you refresh it and then it picks 8 other images.
That is really funny.
But I'm curious, like press the S key, see what it'll do with the mask. S is for subject. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, that looks good.
So on the right side, it's kind of showing you a lighter gray. So that's showing you that you're within the mask.
Right.
Okay. So like if you scroll down, it'll show you the point color. Okay. There you go. And then now you can like drop that on the dress without worrying about adjusting the sky and stuff like that. Of course.
It's not really that blue in this one.
Yeah.
There you go. The suit. Yeah, there we go. And see, I'm like super meticulous. Like I will do that for every photo. Like I will make sure that all the suit, because that really bothers me when the suit looks blue or the shirt looks blue. And so I go through and we'll do all of that. So to be able to do that and then hit the mark as reference, and does it do that for every photo then?
It will. So like right now when you're in the process of setting up, it won't happen in real time right now until we finish the AI style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I select mark as reference?
Yeah, you can, and you can continue editing. So you're still within that masking menu. So you can either click out of it, so you can like go right back to all the
Oh, I am. Okay.
Yeah, the normal sliders. I think just clicking the icon on the right side, the little circle.
Oh my gosh, where am I? Oh,
there you go.
Okay. In this edit, this is super pretty. Yeah, that one's good. I'm just gonna paste. Oh, yeah, that's great.
And so now real quick, also to pay attention. So on that circle where the mask menu is, you can see there's a little dot. When there's that dot, that means something is like active or there's something there. So as you saw, there is that subject mask that's kind of copying over from the very first photo. So if that's something you're okay with, then like keep rolling with it. But then if you do like copy settings from this, you can uncheck that mask option and then it will, yeah.
Okay. I think I like it for this one. Probably the next ones too, because this one I shouldn't have done it with because they're so far away. Yeah. But yeah, I like it for here because I love that you can do that. I feel like in other programs that I use, like you have to, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can do this and I just don't know. But yeah. I guess you can in Lightroom, you can like copy it and paste it, but then it's not always the same thing. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, this just seems like a lot more fluid, like
very fluid. And it takes a while, to be honest, too, when you're copying and pasting and then it has to recalculate the mask. Yes. This one, Polarr Next, goes really quickly. Like I as you've been editing, have you experienced any slowdowns, any waiting?
No, I honestly feel like it's been extremely fast. I mean, I'm just like copy paste, and everything is there, especially with it using, you know, my Lightroom presets.
Mhm.
Very impressed too, because I feel like it matches the
That's great.
vibe that I go for.
That's great.
Don't need to take these too long. Okay, I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, we're chugging along here, and it's best to take your time and really dial these in, because then once we finish, the results will definitely pay off.
Yeah, that one looks.
There's the meticulous part, guys.
I know.
Gotta zoom in.
I am. I'm like, um, yep, there we go. So with these turned on, it's doing
Yeah,
this.
and you can do even more. So with that differential tool there, yeah.
Do you want me to do this again?
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's up to you. Like it definitely gives you more real estate. I can see you like having to scroll a lot. And what you can do too is that dropper if you want to be like very
Yeah, I'm gonna do
precise. But
that. Okay. I might just have to do the do this. But that might be a skin color, huh?
yeah.
Never
Yeah.
mind. Okay, it's fine. That's a me thing. You can't even see it from that far away, so we're all good.
Yeah, I think if you really got down to it, you would just do a brush in
Yeah.
that part of the shirt and then point color that.
Oh, I didn't even.
There we go.
It's a little. There we go.
So you can see the setup because you did that one that wasn't suggested. We do have 8 images finished, but you can
Right.
totally edit this one as well, and then it will just
Okay.
be 9 out of 8. And
Okay.
it's even better that you have that. So
Okay. I feel like that's good. Okay.
all right,
Okay.
what's next?
Next suggestion.
No, we're done.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so then we'll go finish AI style setup.
Oh, there. Okay. It was hidden by my little. There we go. Can you? There we go.
Cool. So basically saying the more references, the better. So you may see more mistakes now than later,
Okay.
or things that are off. But if you click that grid at the top, the 4 little squares, just want to get like an overview. There we go. So like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Good, like starting point?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So what's cool is, I mean, it's already done processing.
Oh
You
my
can,
gosh, it is.
yeah, it's already done. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I know with like other programs, you'd be so used to like sending it off, getting
I
it
literally like
edited.
will do it and have to wait. I'll like have to go do something else because it's loading forever.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
incredible.
done. And you didn't have to send to anyone. Like that happened on your
No.
computer.
Yeah.
So if you go to the top and then kind of logically go from left to right on your film strip, like editing wise. So that first one, that's the reference. And then basically the green check marks, those are the ones that have been edited by AI.
Okay.
And then the purple ones are the references. So um, definitely look at the green checkmark ones. And then if there's things that you need to dial in, then, work it a
Yeah.
little bit more. And then the whole thing of it is once you've got it looking the way you want it, then you just mark that as a reference. And then you just keep adding references. And then the AI will update similar ones if it finds similar ones.
Okay. Oh yeah, this one needs a little love.
Yeah, yeah.
That is different. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have even included this one.
It's all good.
Okay, we'll just keep going because this one feels Did I do anything? Okay. I'm going to make this a reference. Okay. I feel good about this.
All right. And then one other thing too, I want to show you. So like we went through 33 images. If there's other images that you felt you want to edit or bring into this, you can the bottom right, there's a hidden eye icon.
Okay.
So go to the right. There we go. If you click that, now you can see all the images that you didn't select.
Okay.
And if there's ones that you're like, oh, this one didn't make it in the cull, you can easily bring it to your visible timeline. Let's maybe like do one or two. Ooh, standing one. So what you could do is if you want to bring that, I think you just right click and then unhide and then watch it immediately edit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when you're done, like looking for other images to bring in, then you just go to the bottom right and then hide the unselecteds again.
Okay. Make this. Sure, let's do one more. Why don't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like so fun to do that when like you just unhide it and it brings it to your visible timeline and then just edits it right away. It's so sick.
Let's see. Oh, that's super cool. You've seen them side by side. Yeah, I love that it edits it right away. Like no questions asked, especially because like I just did, I don't know, that one was perfect. I don't even think I touched that one. Yeah. So I don't even need to do anything to that one. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's go back to here.
So you clicked visible, then it hid those. There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
Wow. That's incredible. That difference there.
Yeah. How do you feel about the whole set? You feel like it's at a good place?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go right back to our other screen there. That was really good. It's nice to see the way that you edit. So let's talk about your experience with this. Let's start with the bad. Anything, if there's like an engineer sitting next to me, what would you say like to improve on? Any missing features? Any feature you wish that would be included in Polarr Next?
Yeah. I think we had kind of touched on this on our last call, but something that I religiously use now that it's available and something, especially like I said, because I'm so meticulous, like for the people that were in the back of like that boat, so, you know, like in boats, like I think eventually having like the remove tool, like the AI generative tool would be really great. And honestly, cannot think of anything else. I feel like everything was extremely smooth. I really enjoyed using it. I feel like it was so fast, which I love. Again, timing is everything. And so for me, like being able to see that happen so quickly, I feel like it would just make my like streamlining just that much more quick. And it's something that is really, really important to me. So yeah, I mean, honestly, that AI tool, that'd be my only suggestion.
Okay, I love it. And put more pressure on our devs to do that. You know, in terms of like your current workflow, the thing about Polarr Next is, you know, for everyone watching, like Rachel hasn't given us credit card, didn't sign up for a subscription. Everything, culling, editing is unlocked for free until you go to export, and then that's when you consume your credit. Like, is that kind of helpful? Do you kind of like that?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Because I feel like, you know, for me, it's super important to know that like what I'm investing in is actually going to give me the results that I want, no matter what that is, if that's education or, you know, editing software. And so I feel like I have like tried, you know, a lot of different things like after shoot for culling and stuff like that. And I haven't like been the happiest with things I've purchased in the past. So being able to actually physically see like this is working exactly how I want it to is huge, game changing for sure.
Absolutely. Okay. So one thing people always talk about when it's in terms of AI is the thought that like this is the worst that it will ever be. If you kind of think of it, like Polarr Next will only get better from here. Things you liked about Polarr Next. I know we kind of like touched on it here and there, but like maybe to summarize it all.
Yeah. Honestly, really like that I am able to, like, my presets that I've worked hard on are not just being wasted and I'm not having to like create total new ones. I like that you can incorporate those into the software. I love, love, love how fast it is. That is incredible. I don't even know, like, I can't even explain because while I love AI, like, especially with Imagine, like that software is great, but it takes forever. Like I'm waiting for so long for it to just cull. And then after it says it's done, it's like queuing still for however long. And so this is really, really cool that it's just quick. And especially like if I'm selecting another photo, I don't have to hit like, oh, edit, like it's just going to edit everything. And I love just touching on that again, because like you said about like paying after, like when you hit edit, I think that is super cool too, because I've noticed sometimes with other softwares that I've used that I have like, you hit edit. And then when you go through, you're realizing sometimes like, oh, I edited this photo and I should have like not had it in there like that. Sometimes they just sneak by me like that. And so I feel like with this, it's a lot more intentional. Like you're editing everything, you're doing everything before. So like that gallery that you're paying for is worth it. Like everything that you're doing is worth it. So yeah, I just feel like it's really good. Yeah, I think having an AI software that not only culls, but like the editing is done through the software is huge, because like it's your one-stop shop. You know, you are seeing like how you can fix things and how the AI is actually fixing things in real time, versus like with other softwares where then you have to go into Lightroom and fix things and you're not really sure if it's gonna make that change when you hit like or like download final edits and stuff like that. Like this is actually making those changes like in real time, and you're seeing that happen in front of your eyes. So I think that is like such a huge thing, and I really like that a lot.
Okay, one more question before we wrap up. If anyone's watching this unsure about trying it out, what would you say to that person?
I would say absolutely try it out. It is such a game changer. I feel like, I don't know, I'm like excited to try it out even more, get more images in there. And yeah, I feel like it is the future of AI editing and culling, honestly.
Love it. Awesome. Rachel, thank you so much. It was great to hang out with you for this last hour, seeing your beautiful edits and just kind of watching you process everything and getting to know you a little bit more and hear your story. So hopefully we can connect in the future. And with that being said, Rachel's Instagram and website is going to be in the description of this video. So if you want to go follow her in her journeys to the Dolomites or wherever she goes in the world, give her a follow and, say thanks for an awesome video. But
yeah, thank you so much, Aaron.
You're very welcome. We'll see you hopefully in the future. Huge thank you to Rachel for sitting down with us today and sharing her journey in photography. Are you ready to see what Polarr Next can do for your own workflow? Sign up for free today and receive 2,000 export credits to get started. Whether you're capturing love in the mountains or moments that matter anywhere in the world, Polarr Next is here to help you edit faster and stay inspired.